dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching her, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call her. Working big and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a know it, Mr. Know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the milk before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, and you go. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, and I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, and you go. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, and I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, Top dog like I vanished. I'm the really damaged. I came out and make the channel froze. I'm really who the panel chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name her who got a better flow, but she can hang it up just like a telephone. Stick me up with the cost 10K to let it come see it. Hands down here, make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new it in the machine out. Jewelry be cold like the temperature 0. I'm the hardest, they call me the hero. Heaven and then they know what I be on. I'm the best, and you go. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, and I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, and you go. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, and I go. If I touch it, then it's cold,
God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. The West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down, she real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby, no witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way in Brooklyn and Compton, but with that gang, then make a profit. On top, stay poppin'. Look, see, I was the high school slick Rick, I was styling. Fat gold chain with an African medallion. Hip-hop connoisseur and rolling 20 crippin'. Rap game real tight, freestyle was magnificent. All about the clout and all about my dividends. Them older couldn't tell me different. I need a roundaway girl to live with. Showtime, Mythic Apollo. I'm about the bottom. Take 2 and pour out a little for my who won't live to see tomorrow.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding the like we knew it all. Not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbilly. Cubone stallion with the lip. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.
So let the rhythm hit 'em, just let the rhythm hit 'em. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we move the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, not the way, stomping in my big black J's. 20, get stuck in the maze. We never suffer fools, had enough of you. False friends and loose ends make me wanna fool.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 13 yards on the game's opening play. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The Ravens at 13-2 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Tackle made there by Chris Wormley. Kind of a quirk in the schedule. These two division rivals didn't see each other much of the year. Their first meeting was just a few weeks ago, back in Week 14. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. So the drive stays alive after the fourth down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Play action. Now Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chris Wormley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 45 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a first down. Right back to Dobbins on first. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Chris Wormley. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3 zip. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground, because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense, because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
And he goes out of bounds after a solid return to the 45.
We spend so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs. At the 45. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, Parker, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Flush to his right. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. This is something that we've seen from Lamar Jackson since back in his Louisville days. He can be so dangerous with the RPO.
Yeah, and whoever designed the RPOs, it's almost like they had a guy like Lamar Jackson in mind because of his ability to do everything. He can tuck it and throw it. He can tuck it and run it. He can hand it off inside when he gets the right read. Bottom line is most teams want him to hand it off because when he takes off and goes, he can break down a defense.
$3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Tucker's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. But all in all, you'd have to say fortunate to be only down 6.
Yeah, you know how teams huddle on the sideline before they come out on the field in between series? Guaranteed what's said there is, guess what, guys? We take this ball, move it downfield, put it in the end zone, we're right back to even.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Pickett. He'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett.
That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 41-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Nice job escaping the pocket. Boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Well, backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Queen.
And now off to the races, down the right side. He's at the 30. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. To throw is Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly, but when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
It's a room to maneuver. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead.
We'll get this to about the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Pickett back to throw.
And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down.
So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On the return, Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you won the division, because I know from building a team, when I talk with all the GMs and the player personnel directors, they always talk about, to get to the playoffs in the NFL, you have to have a team that's constructed to win your division. Beat those teams first. That's your #1 path to getting there, and they can get that done in this game.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the gun, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pickett now on 1st down. And this is going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Pickett now from the gun here. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 1st and 10, here's Pickett. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Could we get a touchdown in this 1st half after all? It's 1st and 10. Pickett to throw on 1st down. He finds Pickens over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Pickett, he's going to throw it again. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. A misconnection there, and he's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they throw it. Now with a short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the 1st half. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Call it a gain of a yard as it brings us to the end of the first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Again, it's Harris on second down.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
63 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They run again with Harris.
Getting in there for the tackle, Marcus Williams.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake.
He finds his tight end, Gentry. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try.
Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Here's Jackson to throw. Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
Even against double coverage, he's got enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, we know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw, Pickett.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 41. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Here's Austin.
So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on third down. They've had good success. 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
An option handoff given to Harris.
Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 98 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On second down, this is Harris.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Now Pickett. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now it's Jackson.
Open man is Duvernay.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
He'll get that out wide to Duvernay.
So nothing doing there, and that'll make it second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw again is Jackson. Going for the deep ball. And it's intercepted at the goal line. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen, a completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's here. Now the ball comes loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover for his squad.
Now a give, running left is Harris. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Back to throw, Pickett.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And in for the Steelers touchdown. George Pickett.